Alright, and hey there, Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and welcome to another one of these reboot series, and today we're going to be playing Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time on the Virtual Console, of all things. Now, I know if you guys have remember from the time from before, we have went and played Ocarina of Time on the N64, and for me personally, I just didn't really like the way of how that Let's Play was working, so I just wanted to decide to go and do something here, and do a little bit of a much better type of Let's Play within our way into this series. Now, I am really excited to go and try this M Classic out on a virtual console game. I don't think I've ever have actually went and done that before, so this is going to be my very first time doing my M Classic with a virtual console game here and playing Ocarina of Time with it. So it should look really nice, and you get to see all the cool, awesome cutscenes with some extra better resolution compared to the N64. Now, if you guys don't know, there is an actual upscaler for the N64 known as the Eon, I think is what it's known as. Now, I believe you can just go and attach that into the back of the N64 and actually have an HDMI adapter for it, and it should be able to have some better high resolution for it. But you know what? We have the virtual console. We can literally update the resolution anyways, so that's what I decided to go and do out here with the game with. Now, if you guys are probably wanting to know is, Prox, are you also going to be doing Majora's Mask as well too later on down the road within your channel? And yes, I will be doing that, and I will be actually deleting, I think, my Majora's Mask Let's Play that I did from before, and I think that was also an N64 as well too within our time for that. But I will be playing Majora's Mask with the reboot series actually on the 3DS, and I will be playing the much better HD type of port compared to how the N64 one was going to be. I'm not going to be doing the virtual console though, because I really do like the 3DS version a lot more, because I think there's a little bit more exclusive type of stuff that you don't really get to see within the original N64, even on the virtual console as well. But if you guys know, I do actually know quite I actually do know quite a bit about how Ocarina of Time actually plays out here, and I'm really excited to get ourselves introduced into the Great Deku Tree, head on into our way of our very first dungeon, so that should be really exciting. I did do a little bit of some editing here and there within this video for today, because I didn't really want you guys to see me have to go and try to collect a whole bunch of rupees, because if you guys don't know how this game actually does decide to go and work, is that basically once you go and get yourself all up into gear and kind of walk around within the Kokiri village and everything of that type of nature, and seeing what's happening around within the whole area and meeting up with Saria and all that, there is something that we have to go and do, is that you have to collect I think at least 40 different rupees, and that will have that will basically help you out on getting yourself with the beginning shield that will be going on from there. Now, I already know where to get ourselves with the Kokiri sword, and you guys should already know where the Kokiri sword is already going to be located with, and that is going to be in that little secret little tunnel, which we will be checking that out as well too. Now, if you ever want to go and figure out how to get yourself with all the way up to 40 rupees pretty quickly, it's actually not that hard. Always go and check around through any of the hidden bushes. Those are something really nice to go and do, because that can also kind of help you out a little bit. I think in some rare instances, in some of these bushes here around the Kokiri forest or the Kokiri village that is happening around within this way, you can actually run on into a 20 rupee if you're actually lucky enough, but that's really rare if that ever happens. But majority of all the time, you're gonna be finding a lot of normal green rupees within there. But blue rupees though, however, are pretty common around within this area. Now, I believe you can go and jump around on some different platforms. You can get blue rupees. I think you can also climb up on top of a tree stump, and you can also get a blue rupee from there. And not only that, but when you're going to go and pick up with the Kokiri sword, I believe they actually give you a free blue rupee just right in there. So that's basically 15 rupees that you can already go and find right off at the very beginning of the bat. And then you also got the rocks and the grass and everything of that type of nature. But I know that currently right now, since we don't have a sword, we can't really go and cut down with anything. Now, if you guys remember, back in the day of us playing through Ocarina of Time, we have actually went and did quite a bit of stuff that was happening around with our time of Ocarina of Time. We actually went and did 2 different randomizers, I want to say. I think we actually did one on the N64, which that didn't really last for too long. And then we also went and did another randomizer that was also on the 3DS, which that was actually a continuous series that we went and did on the channel, and that was actually really fun. And I actually do know that there is a surprising soft lock that that actually happens within the game, and that's well, actually I wouldn't really call it as a soft lock, because like you could actually go and reset the game anyways if you have got yourself stuck. But if you're ever like inside like the Great Deku Tree and you need to go and pick up on any of those type of items that kind of like block you in, not to worry. I think if you just like reset your game, and I think if you save, it actually kind of boots you right back into where the actual entranceway is going to be happening within the dungeon. But yeah, I remember when we went and first played throughout like an actual randomizer, I thought that we were going to get ourselves like completely stuck if we didn't find like the actual right and proper item from there. But I'm happy that we went and did, so that was something nice. Now, I will be showing you guys mostly of all the different type of upgrades that you could get with all the different items here. So yeah, so if you guys see right now is that like currently I'm just trying to grab out some extra rupees at this point in time, and also just kind of walk around a little bit, kind of get the feel of the area until we start getting our way into the actual sword itself. So I think like so far, I think I only kind of show you guys, I think we roughly get ourselves all the way up to, I think like maybe all the way up to like 14 or some odd amount of rupees so far. And then I start making my way on over towards to the little secret hidden area that's there for the sword. Now, the Lost Woods, I won't be showing this off to you guys in the first episode. We'll worry about that a little bit later when we actually go and have the slingshot with us, and then we can go in and start making our way on into the actual part of the actual Lost Woods when we actually have like the slingshot, so that I could go and show you guys like all the upgrades for that, because there is like a seed upgrade that you can actually go and do later on, which you can go and talk to like a special Deku script that's going to be there. And not only that, but we don't even have like the Ocarina, so we can't even go and do too much around within the other within the other thing, because there is a Skull Kid that's going to be here, right? Alright, well, let's go and head on over here towards to where the where this is going to be, though, and get ourselves with the Kokiri sword. Very nice. Now, the one thing that I really do like about the original N64 game, and also I think as well too with the GameCube version as well, was that those type of ports within themselves, if you ever have yourself with like an actual Deku stick, you can actually be able to one-hit shot on some different enemies, and it's actually really nice. And I think like Goma, for that matter, if you go and do a Deku stick hit, I believe you can actually knock him out in one hit, if I can remember from before. Because like for some reasons, like the Deku sticks in this game are basically like almost like master swords. Like you can literally just like one-hit shot on any type of enemy and they go down like really quick. And that's just like a really nice good thing just for having a young Link around over here, is just having that Deku stick around. Yeah, and I don't know why that they ever had to go and nerf that in the 3DS version for some reason. I guess they must have probably thought that like that since the Deku stick was a little bit too overpowered, they kind of had to like kind of dim it down a little bit. Kind of like what happens in Pokemon sometimes, you know, you just have like that one Pokemon that kind of like destroys everything in its path, and then all of a sudden Game Freak kind of has to like have to change a little bit about what the Pokemon is doing since it's like overpowered. And here we go, let's finally go about with those shields there. Now, we'll get into more detail with what those other items are as well. I know that we don't really have any type of bow and arrows at this type of, well, at this point in time right now, but later on we'll probably go and pick up with a bow and arrow at some point. But not only that, but there is also another special item that you guys already kind of saw, not just only from our time of the Deku stick that we already just went and talked about, but there is going to be those Deku nuts. Now, Deku nuts are actually something pretty handy, if I have to say so myself, because there is going to be a few different enemies, such as Lizalfos later on, that are going to be jumping around like no tomorrow, and I think you would probably maybe want to go and probably save up on some, or I should say at least stock up a little bit on some Deku nuts. Now, there is different upgrades to actually go and boost up on the Deku nuts. I'll probably go and show that off as well too, just so that we can at least kind of have like majority of all the different upgrades that we're going to be having a little bit later on. Again, basically these are going to become like some useless upgrades that you don't really need all that too much, but at least it's something that you could go and have if you want to kind of boost up a little bit with young Link for the time being. Because like adult Link, you can kind of like kind of just fool around a little bit within that type of particular area, and you don't really need to like have like the Deku stick or anything of that type of nature, or even the the Deku Nuts all that too much. Because, like, the Master Sword kind of already kind of, like, works out a lot better. Alright, so there we go. So there's the Great Deku Tree. Yes, we're going to be meeting up with this guy once and for all. It's just cool. It's just so cool to just go and just meet up with this guy. But unfortunately, the sad thing is that I'm pretty sure that this Deku Tree of this type of time frame actually gets cursed and actually decides to wilt away afterwards. But yeah, we have to go and destroy Goma that's residing inside his in his body there. We have to go and make sure that we have to get that enemy out of the way. Now, I want to say that when I went and played through here within this first episode, I did get myself a little bit lost. I wouldn't say like totally lost, but I just forgot that, that there was two actual doors that you can go on into, one on the second floor and one on the third floor. I want to say of the different areas of that way. Now, I don't think I ever went down through here yet, and normally you can find yourself with some of the extra like Deku Baba plants. You can actually just go and get some extra Deku sticks and whatnot from them. And we got ourselves with one of those boyoings again. So those guys just kind of like just tell you exactly what type of time it is right now within the game. That was kind of interesting about it. I wonder if that actually has like the current actual time that I'm actually playing right off of my actual Wii. That'll be kind of interesting to see. Because I think I did my actual Let's Play episode with it here during this time was actually around like 12 o'clock. But there we go. So inside the Deku Tree. Now, there is going to be mini Deku Baba plants, and we can go and meet up with those guys, and they actually have the Deku Nuts that we actually do have. Now, these guys are a little bit more annoying to go and try to do any of your sword attacking with, because they are, like sometimes they kind of like to do their striking first before you can actually go and do your hit, which that can actually become somewhat of a little bit of a nuisance there. But yes, now we just need to go and just set all those up into our C-stick area so that we can go and do this. Now, since I am playing this on Virtual Console, and if you guys are kind of wondering about like, oh, well, Prox, are you using like an actual classic controller? Well, technically, you can actually go and use a classic controller, but you can also go and use GameCube controllers as well, too, on the Virtual Console, which that was something that I didn't know. Actually, my friend Kevin, that if you guys actually know about during the co-op series, he actually went and told me that you can actually go and literally play GameCube controllers on a Virtual Console game. So if you want to play it on Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16 games on the original Virtual Console, you can actually play GameCube games right off from there, which that's really nice. Or GameCube controllers wise, I should say, not GameCube games. Well, yeah, you can't play GameCube games on a Wii, but more so, you can actually play with a GameCube controller on the actual N64 games or any of the other different things that also happen afterwards. So very nice for that. So yeah, I am actually using my my Wavebird controller for this, because I know that we have used the Wavebird controller before back in a few other different other type of GameCube games from beforehand. But here comes our very first of many different treasure chests here in the Great Deku Tree, and if you guys want to know, this is going to be for the dungeon map. And I believe later on we do find the one for the compass as well too, but I believe that was on the third floor, I think, right? If that's how I can remember. Now, there is quite a bit of different gold sculptures, so if you guys are going to probably ask me as well, too, is that Prox, for this reboot series, are you going to be going and collecting on all of the different sculptures? Because I know that there's like, I think, how many are there? There's like 100 of them, I think. I'm not going to go for every single type of sculpture coin, because it is going to take like way too much time. And not only that, but once you start becoming like adult Link, there's like more different other sculptures that you have to go and find later on within that type of time, not just only with young Link though. Because like there's so many spots for you to go and literally find yourself for a certain golden sculpture. So basically, we'll go into more detail. I want to say, well, you know what? I guess I could go and probably talk to you guys about how gold sculptures work until once we go and find one of them so far, which I'm pretty sure that we are going to be seeing them right around here in this area in particular. Now, gold sculptures will make a little bit of an interesting type of sound, and you can be able to kind of pinpoint it out if you have headphones really quickly. And there's a gold sculpture right there. There's our first of many of them right in this web. And Yeah, now these guys, unfortunately, these platforms, they do kind of like to lower themselves with the switch. But yeah, but majority of these gold sculptures, you can find them in dungeons. I think there's like, I think you could normally find at least like 3 or 4 of them, like within a dungeon in itself, in its entirety. So there's gonna be quite a bit of sculptures around within some of those areas within there. I know that in one instance, in particular, in Dodongo's Cavern, I know that since we're not there just yet, I know that there's one in Dodongo's Cavern which you have to use the Scarecrow, and you have to, and I think you have to actually be adult Link to actually go and grab it. So you can't really go and grab all the sculptures that happen within a certain dungeon. You have to come back to some of them later on as well. But yeah, but anyways, what I was gonna say about where you could actually locate gold sculptures is that you can find them in dungeons. You can find them in some of these special like sandy patch areas before you actually go and use your actual bottle of water to actually rise up the different plants, because rising up the plants with those little sandy patch areas, they'll actually guide you into certain like heart pieces and everything, and we will be finding hopefully a majority of all the heart pieces as well too within our time of the game. I know that I did that before within the original series, so I'm going to kind of keep that as a tradition for here within this game as well too. So we'll try to find as most of the heart pieces as we can, and if I do run into a problem where like some heart pieces get like really annoying, then I'll probably have to do that on my own time or like off recording or something, but we'll try and at least try to pick up with all of them as best as we can here. But there you go. You can also find recovery hearts as well in some of the mini chests. There is like big chest, mini chests that you can go and find. Big chest normally kind of gives you all the handy dandy special equipment. The medium sized chests, like the little mini chests, they kind of just give you just regular rupees or just recovery hearts or anything of that nature. Or sometimes if you're lucky enough, they will give you Deku nuts or even Deku seeds for that matter. Now, one way that you can actually kind of save out on your different Deku sticks is by actually just putting it away into your pocket. So basically, if you decide to go and use the Deku stick for whatever reason, you can actually just go and, like if you wanted to go and burn the Deku stick, you can then go and actually save it just before it like starts to wilt away. Now I'm gonna try and see if I can go and try to use the Deku stick, but unfortunately, it didn't really work out as well as I played it to be. But yeah, I only did 1 hit for now. I think it normally takes 2 hits, I think, for a Skulltula to get destroyed out here. But we're gonna do it again, see if it actually works. Ah, you know what? It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll get the hang of it at some point with the Deku sticks, because those things are like super fun to go and use. And not just only here for the virtual console, but also for the original N64 game as well. One of these days, I do want to go and try out on the Zelda, well, I should say the Legend of Zelda Master Quest version, because I know that there is an actual like N64 disc, and I think there's also one for the GameCube as well, where you can actually play the Master Quest version on the within the time of playing with all like the different like new stages that happen. Well, I think like Great Deku Tree and most of the other different stages kind of like have like a revamp type of thing to them. Now, unfortunately for these guys though, you can't really go and hit with the gold sculpture for right now. You have to use the slingshot for those. Yeah, there's gonna be some of these gold sculptures that are here at this point in time that do need a slingshot for them. So I know that we kind of went a little bit early into this little segment here, into the basement flooring area, but not to worry, we will be able to go and pick up with ourselves with a there we go, ourselves with another Deku net. But yeah, once we get ourselves with the slingshot, we will come back and we will grab out with these guys. We'll make sure to go and grab them. And since we're not over at Kakariko Village just yet, there is going to be a special rewards that you can actually be able to go and pick up with them as well too, which of course that kind of ranges from I don't know if like the Rumble Pack is still a thing here that as you can get like as a reward, because like normally back in the N64 days you would have like a thing known as like the Rumble Pack. and you'll get a reward within Ocarina of Time, which that will give you some sort of thing that will kind of like rumble around into certain areas that you can go and find, where you could go and search for different sculptures or extra pieces of heart or anything of that type of nature for all those different specialized holes. Now, sometimes you can use the Song of Storms and you can literally find the hole around there anyways, but just having that little extra rumble pack there is also pretty nice, and I'm pretty sure I think it's also here in this game as well too, which I do have, I think, the rumble function on my controller, so I think I should be able to go and use that. So yeah, unfortunately we can't do anything over here at this point in time. We need the slingshot to go and hit the eyeball there, so we kind of have to move on out, figure out where the slingshot is, and that is what we're going to do to kind of end things off out here for today. And then we'll worry about battling out with Goma and everything else in the next one, because this area is very, very, very short. Yeah, if I knew where to go and try to remind myself where the slingshot was going to be, I would have made this episode a little bit shorter than it did have to happen, because, like, again, I could just go and probably clear the Deku Tree in no time, because I know where, like, majority of, like, how to go around through this area here. Because again, it is like the beginner tutorial area. I have to say, any type of Young Link dungeon is actually somewhat really fun for me. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys like? Do you guys like the adult Link? Do you like the adult Link dungeons, or do you guys like the Young Link dungeons? Like, I want to say, like, what was it? The Spirit Temple, I think that's what it was known as. Because I think there's two different temples that have that are like kind of always different. Because I always like mix them up like all the time. Because I know that we got like the Spirit Temple, and then there's also another one that's also, I'm trying to remember what the other one is. I'll try to remember at some point, because I know that there's like one that's like in the Gerudo Desert area, and that's where you have to use like both like Young Link and Adult Link at the same time. That area is really cool. That's where you normally get yourself with the gold gauntlets and everything. I want to say so, right? You get the gold gauntlets there. Because silver gauntlets, you have to get it in a whole other different area. There we go. So we got ourselves with the fairy slingshot. Very nice. So now we can go and be able to get ourselves on out of here, because if not, we will be basically soft locked or basically stuck here for quite a while. But if you have the slingshot, you can just be able to go and knock around with the ladder, and it will drop down, and you can just head on out of here without any type of problems at all whatsoever. So there we go. Yeah, so every time that whenever I go and play throughout this game here, I'm going to try to make sure not to go and save. I'll save at the very end of the episode, just so that if anything ever had to happen with like my HD PVR2 or anything of that type of nature, that goes on from there. And here we are. So let's go ahead and use that slingshot there. So yeah, normally we already have like a maximum of 30, but I believe you can actually up that up to even a little bit more than that. I believe the max is at like 99, I think, right? Or somewhere around there. So there we go. And let's go and head on over to there and get ourselves out. Very nice. Because I don't know if it's 99 or if it's like 60. I can't really remember. Because like if I'm thinking about 99, all I could think of is like Wind Waker, because I know that in Wind Waker with all the different like items that you go find with all the upgrades, normally it all kind of ends at like 99. But there we go. Let's just make sure that we knock out with some of these guys here. And I think we're going to end things off for today. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to comment, like, also subscribe. And of course, peace.